Yes, sir. Good morning to all of you. Myself, Mahesh Jagdish Pingle, lecturer Electronics Engineering, Government Polytechnic Ambad. So, dear students, today we are going to discuss our next type of communication, and the name of that particular wave propagation. It is called as the sky wave propagation. Now, basically, this is the advanced version of the wave propagation because the ground wave communication has its own limitations of frequency range. So, for the higher frequencies, majority times we are preferring such a kind of sky wave propagation. Now, this particular sky wave propagation, it is always done in the upper atmosphere layer. So, as all of we know that Earth is basically surrounded by some layers of atmosphere. So, there are some MST layers present around the atmosphere. Uh, Yes, some MST layers are there. Then some different atmospheric layers are there, like ionosphere is present over there. So basically, this particular sky wave propagation, it is done around the this particular with the help of this particular ionospheric layers. Now, what we observe is that suppose this is nothing but your ionosphere layers we are observing. So there are different subparts of this particular ionosphere layer. So this is your ionosphere layer. So if we want to send the signal, there is a transmitting antenna, uplink signal is there. So whatever the signal which we want to send from one point to the another point, it will be transmitted towards your atmospheric layers. So that is ionospheric layer. Suppose this is your transmitted signal. So transmitted from ionospheric layer. So there are some layers which absorbs some energy. Some diffraction will be done, some reflection or refraction action also done. So some of the information which we want to transmit, it will be reflected by some of the layers. So here we are observing through this particular D layer, the signal gets reflected back. So the transmitted signal will reach up to the D layer, and from D layer there is a reflection of the signal, and this particular signal will reach to the destination. So if your transmitting position is here and if your destination is here or receiver is here, then signal take one point path over here. So it will be transmitted to the D layer, and from D layer it will be reflected back towards the earth and will reach your desired destination. So this is nothing but the basic concept behind the sky wave propagation. So whatever the energy which we want to send, it is transmitted towards the ionosphere, and from ionosphere it will be reflected towards the receiver side. Now basically, how this particular ionosphere itself it is formed, it is one of the most interesting thing. As all of we know that this is sun. So sun is always radiating some ultraviolet radiations. So these particular ultraviolet radiations from the sun will ionize the upper layer of atmosphere. So whatever the layer present around the earth surface, it is nothing but the atmosphere layer. So that uppermost part of atmosphere gets ionized with the help of ultraviolet rays radiated from the sun. And because of these particular ultraviolet radiations, the ionization layer is formed at that particular place. Now due to the ionization, this part of atmosphere becomes electrically charged. So suppose if we draw the diagram of this particular, suppose this is your earth surface and suppose this is your atmosphere. So and suppose this is the sun, right? So around the earth there is a atmosphere, right? Now this particular uppermost layer of atmosphere will be ionized with the help of this particular sun ultraviolet radiations. So this ionized layer forms some electric charge within that particular layer. So we can say that due to the ionization, the part of atmosphere becomes electrically charged, and the atom either takes an electron or lose an electron and become either positively or negatively type of ions. So this particular layer contains the positive ions as well as the negatively charged ions. Now these negatively charged ions forms the free electrons. So that free electrons are applicable for the communication purpose, right? One of the most important thing is that this particular layer, it is invisible layer. So it is present around the earth's surface. That ionosphere is present at the uppermost side of atmospheric layer due to the ultraviolet radiation, but it is completely invisible. We can not able to see this particular layer with human eyes. So that's why it is completely invisible layer. Now the important points about the ionospheric layer is that along with the ultraviolet radiations, the alpha, beta and gamma radiations from the sun and the cosmic rays are also responsible for this particular ionization process. So not only because of the cosmic rays, but also because of the alpha, beta and gamma type of radiation from the sun, this particular ionosphere layer itself gets formed. Now if we observe the separation of each and every layer, what we observe that there is a D layer present above the earth's surface. Now this particular D layer has some thickness. Then after D layer there is a E layer present over there, it has some thickness. Then after E layer there is F1 layer, and above F1 layer there is F2 layer. So sequence is that the layer which is very much near to the earth's surface, it is nothing but the D layer. Now above that particular there is E layer. Now above E layer there is F1, and above F1 there is always a F2 layer. Now D layer is the lowest layer, and it exists above the 70 km from the earth's surface. So this D layer is having distance of 70 km from the earth's surface and thickness of 10 km. But this particular D layer disappears at night due to the recombination process. Now the next layer is nothing but E layer, which is present at approximate height of 100 km from the earth's surface. So the next layer, E layer, it is present at 100 km earth surface and having a thickness of 25 km. This E layer also disappears in night. So this particular night, at night, the D and A layer are not present over there. The sporadic E layer, ES, is the thin but high density layer which sometimes disappears with the E layer. For simplicity purpose, it is not shown in this particular E layer. Now above E layer there is always a presence of F1 layer. Now F1 layer, this particular F1 layer, is present about 180 km height above the earth's surface, and the thickness of this particular F1 layer, it is 20 km in daytime. Now it combines with F2 layer at night. So in next diagram we will discuss that particular point. The most of the high frequency waves are passed through the F2 layer, and this layer provides more absorption of HF waves. Now above F1 layer there is always presence of F2 layer. So this one F2 layer. Now this particular F2 layer, it's having height ranges from 250 km to 400 km from the ground surface or the earth surface, and this particular layer has a thickness of 200 km at daytime, and the height and ionization density of this layer is very much great, so that this particular layer, it is the most important layer for communication purpose. Now if we see the combination diagram of this particular, so what we observe that, so these are nothing but the different ionospheric layer. So the lowest layer, it is D layer, present 70 km above the earth surface, having thickness 10 km. Then the E layer is just above the D layer, having height from the earth surface 100 km with thickness 25 km. Now these both two layers will disappear at the night. Now there is above E layer there is a F1 layer. Now F1 layer having height from earth surface 180 km, and the thickness it is of 20 km in daytime. but above F1 there is a F2 layer having a height from Earth surface 250 to 400 kilometer. Yes, having thickness 200 kilometer in daytime. Now what we basically observe is that at night the F1 and F2 layer gets combined over here. So this is night region, this is also a night region. So during night F1 and F2 are combined, but when daytime these two layers are act as a different layers, right? Now one of the most important thing is that the F2 layer has different positions as per the month. So for December month, the F2 layer, if it is present up to the 300 kilometer distance from the Earth surface, but for the June, this particular layer, F2 layer, is having height reaching approximately towards the 400 kilometers. So this point is also one of the most important point while talking about the skywave propagation. So only because of such a kind of different layers, anyone can easily transmit the signal. So as in our previous diagram, we can transmit the signal to these particular layers, and from these layers the signal will reflect back towards your destination, and this ionosphere, it is formed only because of the ultraviolet radiations from the sun. So this is all about the skywave propagation and introduction to the ionospheric communication. In next lecture we can discuss in detail about the skywave propagation. Thank you very much.